Hello, let's be on the line. My name is Andres Ramirez, and I'm your host today because unfortunately, Mr. Zach Houston Scott is unavailable tomorrow due to a last minute trip. But today you get me. It'll be a shorter one, bittersweet, and I'm sure Zach will be hearing us, but he'll be excited to come back next week. So let's get down to business, guys. So I finally watched The Conjuring for what an interesting piece of movie. I mean, the film came out. It is rated decently, I believe, in multiple sites. But overall, I think this franchise is in a very weird state because this feels like a film that is left over in many ways. Like, it is an entertaining movie, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a franchise that has struggled ever since James Wan left the franchise after the second film. Arguably, his career has also struggled because even though he did Aquaman, the first part, he did wonderfully there. I think the horror genre has been missing him. Even though he has acted as a producer, I think some of his films where he has produced have not been the same as if he had directed. So we miss James Wan. But yeah, I've seen The Conjuring last Rites. I personally don't think this is going to be the last Conjuring. However, I do think that this film might be the last in a couple of years due to the Warren family estate recently being sold to a YouTuber, I believe. I'm just researching these news. But yeah, I think it got sold to a YouTuber. So I think Warner might be waiting, but it is clear that they're setting up a potential sequel trilogy or whatever. If you read multiple sources, there's still shows and active development for the Conjuring verse or whatever. So I think overall it's an entertaining movie. I would say if you have not seen it in theaters, you should stream it. I think it's a film that it's not scary, lacks the emotional punch that James Wan gave the first two films in particularly, but more particularly the first one. Like, it shares a lot of the same beats, themes, but unfortunately, I think it fails at trying to figure out what is the story it's trying to tell. Like, you don't see so much of the hauntings because you gotta deal with this drama. Because if you remember, Ed has a heart condition now, so they're kind of retired, but they're not. But overall, I think it's an enjoyable movie. I would give it a 6.5 out of 10, which aligns with all the, you know, information out there. Like, the film currently holds 6.4 in IMDb, a 778 on Fandango, and a 59 in Rotten Tomatoes. So I think overall it's a enjoyable film, but nothing too spectacular. I think it'll come out perfectly for the Halloween season for it to do something big, and it'll be very successful then. But I would not go crazy trying to see this in a movie theater because, as I said, I think it's going to be very successful once it's streaming, probably by Halloween. So if you have not seen it, I think from my end, at least maybe next week, Zach can talk about it if he has seen it. He hadn't seen it last week. It's a solid recommendation, but nothing too crazy. So today's subject, since Zach is not here, I'm gonna be a little bit selfish and talk about a subject that I am very passionate, which is film festivals, and in particularly highlighting one, the New York Film Festival starting next Friday on the 26th, I believe. Is that next Friday? Is it? Well, it starts on the 26th and it goes all the way to October 13th. I believe it is Friday. Let me just double confirm this because yes, next Friday. It starts next Friday on the 26th. So, the New York Film Festival celebrates its 63rd edition. Wow. I mean, it is a wonderful festival in the heart of New York City in Lincoln Center. And this year is going to be special, as always. But I wanted to go over the lineup a little bit and give you guys my recommendations if you're in New York or you're going to the festival, what you should see, what you should not see. Granted, these are very biased on my own perspective, but I'll give you what to expect, what are the highlights, what are the cool stuff that it's going to be playing in New York in the next couple of weeks. So, the best film I think, to start the festival is After the Hunt, the newest film by Luca Guadagnino. This is supposed to be a thriller, complex drama starring Andrew Garfield, Julia Roberts. It's supposed to be about a college professor who finds herself at a personal and professional crossroads when a student starts student levels an acquisition against one of her colleges, threatening to expose a dark secret from their own past. This is a Luca Guadagnino film. Unfortunately, it has already premiered, I believe, in Venice. And unfortunately, the film has not been well received by the critics, earning a 6.1 out of 10 in IMDb and a 49% Rotten Tomatoes. Personally, I'm excited to see this. This is opening night, so opening night in a film festival is always exciting, celebrating. But Luca Guadagnino, at least with me, is a hit or miss. Hopefully, this is a hit. In 2 weeks, in a week or so, I'll be telling you about the next film that I'm really excited to see, which is actually the winner of the Venice Film Festival, the Golden Lion, is Jim Jarmusch's newest film, Father, Mother, Sister, and Brother, which tells the story in chapters. I think this is a triptych film, and it's about the relationships between adults and how they reconnect with their childhoodness. And it has a star cast of Adam Driver, Bayek, Kate Blanchett, Vicky Krieps. You know, Overall, an amazing cast. And this is the centerpiece of the New York Film Festival, so it's something exciting. And it's North American premiere. The one that I'm perhaps most excited because it's a script written by Will Arnett. So it is written by Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper, and Mark Chappell. So it's a comedy drama film directed by Bradley Cooper. So his most recent film, and this the closing night, but it is the world premiere of the film. Is This Thing On by Bradley Cooper. And I'm really excited because this is the closing night, makes the festival very special. So I'm sure it'll be a good experience for our audience to hear what I think in a couple of weeks. But I think if you're in New York, I think tickets are available for Monday, October the 13th at 2:45 p.m. It would be a good recommendation. So that is like the big three movies, the pillars of the festival. Another film that I recommend by an amazing filmmaker, Laura Portras. She's a documentarian. It's Cover Up. It's about political journalism in the U.S. And this is an arresting documentary. I'm reading from the New York Film Festival, released at a crucial moment regarding freedom of press. So I think maybe a film hard to watch in 2025, but Laura Portras, she's an outstanding documentarist. She has made two phenomenal films. If you haven't not heard the name, she did a couple of years ago. She did a film about the Sackler family called All the Beauty in the Bloodshed, and her most famous one perhaps is Citizen Four, a documentary about Edward Snowden. So that's really good. Fortunately for that one, it's sold out. But the cool thing about the New York Film Festival, it has stand-up line, so I think you could get into that. Another film that I strongly recommend, it is A House of Dynamite, Catherine Bigelow's newest film. Supposedly, it is wonderful. It has very high ratings, 92% Rotten Tomatoes, 7 out of 10 IMDb, Letterboxd 3.4 out of 5. So very big. It's a political thriller that premiered in Venice. It'll be streaming on Netflix on October 24th, and the premise at the White House, U.S. government's officials scrambled to deal with an incoming nuclear missile launched by a foreign power at the city of Chicago. So, political drama by Catherine Bigelow. She did most famously The Hurt Locker, Zero Dark Thirty. So probably a very exciting film. Tense. Looking forward to it. Catherine has been one of my favorite filmmakers of the last decade. So yeah, we'll see about that one. The one that I would recommend as well, if you have a chance, there's still tickets available, is It Was Just an Accident by Jafar Panahi. It is an Iranian French film. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes this year, and it is a good film. There's still tickets on Wednesday, October 8th. Film that I recommend that there's still tickets for Wednesday, October 8th. It is Noah Baumbach's most recent film, Jay Kelly, starring Mr. George Clooney. This is um, a film that I recommend. So yeah, it is Noah Baumbach's most recent film, so I'm sure it's great. And lastly, another movie that I recommend that there's still tickets for most of Friday the 17th and Saturday October 18th is The Mastermind by uh, Kelly Reinhardt. This film is about uh, a family man that makes the rash decision, starring Josh O'Connor, to do a heist at a local museum. So it should be fun. Another film that unfortunately I don't have tickets, but Korean film by Park Chan Wook. No Other Choice seems like an interesting film. It is a U.S. premiere, South Korean film, so those are always good. And finally, two films that I'm really excited. Well, one is the world premiere of Ameone, which uh, is directed by Ronan Day Lewis, if that may sound familiar. This because that's the son of Daniel Day Lewis, and this is a film about him coming back to acting. So it's about the lives undone by seemingly incorrosive legacies of political and personal violence on the path toward familial redemption. So it is Daniel Day Lewis, yes, Mr. Abraham Lincoln himself, coming back to the big screen. So exciting. But the two films that I was very excited are Richard Linklater's Blue Moon, one of his newest films, Hearts. It is a portrait of one of the crucial night in the melancholy, legendary life of Lauren Hartz, uh, who is played by Ethan Hawke. And it's a Richard Linklater film. You never know what you're gonna get, but I'm sure this is really good. And it stars Margaret Qualley, so really good. But Richard Linklater has another called Noble Bag. So this is the spirit of the cinematic revolution and well in Richard Linklater affectionate, wildly entertaining passion project, which transports the viewer to 1959 as the making of Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. And finally, I would recommend Mr. Scorsese, the world premiere of a five episode series, Mr. Scorsese, directed by Rebecca Miller, which will be continuing on October 17 on Apple TV. So if you're in New York, I would recommend these movies. Sorry for the shorter episode. And without further ado, please make sure to follow us, give us a like, and subscribe to our content because it really means your support. And we'll see you next week with the regular programming. And I'll keep you tuned with New York and everything in between. Bye bye for now. And yeah, make sure to follow us at Below the Line 2025 on Instagram. My Instagram is Jaro2096. And Sax is the Sac Houston Scott. So follow us, stay tuned, engage. And if you're in New York, don't be shy to say hi to Below the Line. Without further ado, see you guys next week. Signing off. Bye bye. Bye bye. Enjoy the movies. Go watch something and see you guys next time. Bye.